Welcome to Fantasy Legends, my name's Scott, and today we're going to be looking at one of Final Fantasy IX's most magical locations, Alexandria. Before we get into it, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, it really does help me out. Now let's get on with the video. The first time you get to see the city is through Vivi on the opening trailer. I think it's a magnificent look at the city, and the awe and the wonder a player gets is just fantastic, and is the main reason why I wanted to discuss this city in this video. According to Final Fantasy IX's Ultimania, Alexandria was founded around 800 years ago after the other civilizations in the Mist Continent collapsed. The reason for the other civilizations' destruction was due to the mist arriving on the continent, thus creating war. Due to this warfare, Alexandria was built on a high elevation plain, and also the summoners still lived in Alexandria at this time. Around 500 years before the story of the game, Alexandria was actually destroyed by a failed summoning experiment. To prevent this from happening again, said Eidolon's summoning gem was divided up into 4 pieces. Of these 4 pieces, 3 were given to the ruling kingdoms of the continent, and 1 was kept by the Summoners tribe, who left the Mist Continent altogether. As we find out in the game, this summon is actually Alexandria, which is an amazing summon and a sight to behold when you actually finally get to see it. It's one of the main reasons I love this city. After most of the inhabitants had moved above the mist to the 3 nations, Alexandria, Limbolum and Burmecia, there continued to be small conflicts between the 3 nations. For example, in 1389, General Madeleine of Alexandria took on the Limbolum army with 9 soldiers in the 9th Limbolum War. The 15th Limbolum War was fought in 1601, as a statue was later erected in the market square in Alexandria to commemorate the 3 heroic knights of Pluto who fought in this war. The only thing that stopped these wars were the Mist Continent's mist-powered airships being invented in Limbolum, tilting the balance of power of the Mist Continent in Limbolum's favour. This history shows you why Alexandria comes across as such a militarized nation with all its knights and generals and captains. It's very interesting in terms of looking at the history and how this has shaped the city of Alexandria. We do get to see in the game that Alexandria is less developed than Limbolum. However, Alexandria has a very unique style to it, and I just love the aesthetic of that city. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we get to first see the city through Vivi's eyes, which is a brilliant way of seeing the city, as he has a kid-like nature and sees everything in wonder, which also allows the player to see the wonder of the city, the fantasy aesthetics. I just think it's amazing. The city is quite fleshed out in the game, with the fact that it even has knights, different ranks of knights. For this time of and era of gaming, it is quite detailed. Final Fantasy IX as a game itself is quite detailed, though, in general. I think going with this traditional kingdom and fantasy aesthetic was brilliant for Vivi's magic and just magic in general in this game, as it really did bring out the fantasy elements. Even though we do get to see the city in wonder at the beginning of the game and later on in the game as well, in its full glory, we do also get to see the other side of the city when he gets attacked by Kuja. This is one of my favourite scenes in the game, and to be honest with you, it just adds to the element of Alexandria being a great city, as we see the knights trying to defend the people, and we see the summon itself, Alexandria, finally being summoned to fight Bahamut. It's an interesting scene and encapsulates what Alexandria as a city stands for. After the city is destroyed, the people of Alexandria look to rebuild. This shows the strength of the city, and to be honest with you, is one of my favourite parts and makes the city feel more alive. So there you have it, the city of Alexandria. Was it one of your favourite locations in the game? Let me know in the comments down below, or let me know what your favourite location was. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for listening.